Last time, we learned how Python recognizes string. And we discovered that when text is inside quotation marks, Python understands, oh, this is text. But now we have a new question. Once Python understands text, can it show text too? Well, yes it can, and this is our mission for today. Today, we are going to make Python talk. Python has a special command called print, and print lets Python show text on the screen. So in other words, print is how Python talks. Now, let's see how that works. Our first example is friend. Now, before Python can show this text, Python first has to recognize it as text. So what do? Yes, we put it inside quotation marks. Great job. Now, let's make Python show this text on the screen. We write print, and we place the string friend inside the parentheses. And this means, Python, please show this text on the screen. But wait, how does Python actually read this? Let's understand together. Python reads this line from left to right. First, it sees the word print. So Python says, oh, I am about to show something on the screen. Then Python sees the first quotation mark. And now Python says, oh, I am about to read text. Then Python starts reading the text one character at a time. F, R, I, E, N, D. Then Python reaches the second quotation mark. So Python says, all right, I'm done reading the text. And finally, Python shows the word friend on the screen. Great job. Now let's see that live. Let's open our browser and go to learnwithbyte.com and hit enter. And here we are. This is our Python playground. On the left side, this is where we write our Python code. And on the right side, this is where we see the result. And this button over here is called the Run button. Once we finish writing our code, we press Run so Python can execute the code and show us the result. Now, let's try our example. We write print, open parenthesis, quote, friend, quote, close parenthesis. Now, are you ready? Let's hit Run. And ta-da! Look at that! Python showed the word friend on the screen. That means Python was able to recognize the text, read the text, and show the text. Awesome! Now let's try another example. This time let's write hello. First we place it inside quotation marks. And now we use print. Print hello. Now, let's think together. What will Python show on the screen? Yes, it will show hello. Let's try it live and see what happens. We write print hello. Now, let's hit Run. And ta-da! It worked! Great job! Now, let's try another one. Print, my name is Loki. What do you think Python will show on the screen? Write down your answer. All right, let's check if you got it right. The result is, my name is Loki. Let's test our example live. We write, print, my name is Loki. Now, let's hit Run. And ta-da! The answer is just like we expected. And notice something important. Python showed the letters, the spaces, and the exclamation mark too. Everything inside the quotation marks belongs to the string. Excellent job! Now, let's try one more fun example. Print. Can I order 3 pizzas? Think carefully. What do you think the answer will be? Let's see if you got it right. Did you get it right? Great job! Now, let's try it live and see what happens. Let's hit run. Amazing! Our answer is correct. And notice carefully, Python showed the letters, the spaces, the number 3, and the question mark too. That's because all of them are part of the text. Amazing work! All right, now it's challenge time. Last week, I went on a road trip with Loki and Rico. And while we were driving, we saw an ice cream store with a giant sign that said, "Free ice cream." Of course, we got excited immediately and stopped to have some. It was delicious. Now, later that day, Loki remembered the lessons we learned about strings and print, and he said, "Wait, can Python print a sentence that has quotation marks inside the text?" That's actually a very interesting question. So let's try it together. Suppose we want Python to print this sentence. We saw a store that had the sign, "Free ice cream." How can we make Python show this sentence on the screen? Did you write it like this? All right, let's try it live and see what happens. Print, we saw a store that had the sign, "Free ice cream." Now, let's hit run. Uh-oh. Python is not happy. We got an error. But why? Don't worry. Let's understand what happened. Python started reading from left to right. First, it saw print. So Python said, "I'm about to show something on the screen." Then it saw the first quotation mark. So Python said, "Oh, I'm about to read text." Then Python started reading. We saw a store that had the sign. But then Python saw another quotation mark right before "free ice cream." And Python got confused. Python thought, well, I guess the text is finished. But was the text actually finished? No, there was still more text left. So how do we fix this? It's actually easier than you think. Python lets us use two types of quotation marks, single quotation marks and double quotation marks. So if we use double quotation marks for the big text, we can use single quotation marks inside the text, like this. Now Python understands everything correctly. The single quotation marks become part of the text itself. Now, let's try it live and see what happens. Let's hit run. And ta-da! It worked! Great job. And here's something cool. We could also do the opposite, like this, where the single quotation marks are around the big text and the double quotation marks are inside the text. Both work. Awesome job. So today we learned something very important. Python can recognize text, read text, and now show text on the screen too. But what if we want to combine pieces of text together? Can Python build bigger text from smaller text? In the next lesson, we'll find out.